everyone. My name is Jenny Burak. I am an astrologer and I channel Archangel Metatron. I also do energy healing and I spend a majority of my time working with clients, going through their natal charts and helping them to find healing for things that have occurred in this lifetime, most likely that stem from something that happened quite a while back. So we go into timelines and look at that if we whenever there's occasion to, whenever Metatron leads us that way. And this is my 1-year anniversary. I started last March 2018. March 11th was my first YouTube video. So thank you so much to everyone who stuck with me and all of you who have found me. And when you talk to me in sessions, you remind me of how much I've grown in making videos. It's so difficult at first for me. It was so challenging and I pushed through it, and now it's something that I really look forward to. And so I wanted to say something. I had mentioned a couple of weeks ago that the March video was going to be done within the next few days, and that was my intention, absolutely. I've been sick like 3 times since I said that. And so there was just no way that I could do that. I had to reschedule clients 4 days last week. And I wanted to mention in relation to client sessions that I will no longer be offering 1-hour sessions. They're still available now. I will be on hiatus in June. I don't know exactly what's happening, but Metatron has asked me to keep that month open. So when I come back then the second week of July, I will no longer be offering 1-hour sessions. I still will offer the 30 minutes, but I believe I can accomplish, creator can accomplish a lot in a very small amount of time. And Metatron has been encouraging me to make more time for myself and to clean up my schedule. Partly, part of the reason that I was down last week and the week before is because I haven't left room in my schedule for myself. And so I've kind of created other ways to have that time, and my body is just physically exhausted, is what Metatron said as well. So anyway, I'm feeling much better now. We weren't even able to have the Emerald Fire meeting. We do that with the beings of light and the creator. We use the energy of creation, the tetrahedron, and different sacred tones and colors to do healing, sending healing energies throughout the planet, especially in relation to the earth changes that we're seeing happening now, and that the period that we're moving into where they'll be happening with more frequency and intensity. So we do some work with the Ascended Masters, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, the first Sunday of every month. And all of that information is below in the description box, how you can link to Zoom. It's free. And we do it 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, the first Sunday of every month. I wasn't able to do it yesterday because my eye was completely swollen shut, and it felt awful. And I thought, I'm not doing this to myself. So we'll do it on April 7th. We're going to do it. I knew what I had planned for us to do yesterday. We will do in April, and that's related to healing, ancestral healing, and then working with the elementals, not the elements, the elementals, and the elements, of course, as well. But we'll have more specific instruction as we get closer to the date. But I just wanted you to be aware that that's April 7th, and the link to the Zoom meeting is in the description box. Also, there you can find the link to Vimeo. I'm going to begin uploading videos for teachings and healings there. And I will, if you follow me on Vimeo, then you'll be notified that I've posted something. Also, my classes, when I'm finished teaching at the end of March, those will also be uploaded for sale to Vimeo. And I wanted to mention thank you to everyone who reached out to me about Patreon. And I have not set it up yet. Metatron wants me to have that go this month in March. And I think that part of the reason is because he's demonstrating through me that Mercury retrograde is not a time when we just shut down and stop moving forward completely. When there's already been something set in motion, then it's safe to proceed and move forward. As Metatron always says in relation to retrogrades, it's never the wrong time to do the right thing. So I will not have that in the description box in this video, but I'll make an announcement when it's ready to go up. And I'm not really sure what I'm going to do for subscription for now. It will either be at an extremely discount or it will just be no charge for right now. And I wanted to clarify something that I said in relation to my Patreon channel. What Metatron was saying when I don't remember honestly what video it was that this came up, but I had said that they were sacred teachings, and he was making the point, Metatron, that there are teachings that the teachings on YouTube are sacred as well, but that the information of a personal nature that's sacred to me, that I would be more comfortable sharing that on Patreon with an audience that I just feel I'm more safe to share things about the supernatural, about timelines, about personal experiences that I've had that I just don't feel comfortable putting on YouTube. And also because, well, anyway, they're sacred to me. And so that's why Patreon for me. Also, people had been emailing me about which of Amanda Ellis's sprays to order. I had something came up in the comments after I had mentioned Amanda's sprays. I don't have anything to do with Amanda Ellis's business. We're friends. I don't get any money from promoting her sprays. I just simply share things with you guys. I've shared other people's products with you, just things that I thought you would benefit from because I did. I mentioned that there were two boys in my house. There were 19, 20-year-old guys, and they were using the sprays. I have a tray out of sprays if I know that I'm going to have people buy, and I just tell them pick whatever color you're most comfortable with, and then they spray that in their aura. And these boys had used the sprays, and then I explained to them how to see out their third eye, and they did see through their third eye. So someone had made a comment that was pretty nasty, insinuating that I had made up a story about people being able to see through their third eye after they used Amanda's sprays. I have no motive for doing that. I'm not just on here to tell a bunch of crazy stories. Well, some of them are kind of crazy, but they're all truthful. And that's what happened. Now, do these boys have a much higher vibration when they came in than we did when we came in? Yes, they do. They have a much higher vibration, and also they're open to it. They're not so pessimistic. And they believed it. They trusted it. They trust me. And when I said to them, this is what's going to happen if you just, do ... and they did it, and they saw through their third eye. So I'm not saying that whenever anyone uses Amanda Ellis's sprays, you'll be able to see through their third eye. Will it help? Yeah, it will help, because Amanda knows which frequencies, and she's directed by Metatron, which vibration and which frequencies to infuse all of the sprays with. They're wonderful and magical and beautiful and have healing properties. I have every single spray, at least one of each spray. And so in relation to, because you guys had been asking me what sprays would I recommend, I asked them then obviously, and they showed me just rays of pastels. So this one is the inner child. This is a great spray to use right now. Pisces, let me turn the bottle, divine peace. And then I just grabbed, this is a newer one of hers, expansion and upgrade. And then I'm picking like the sunnier joy and the inner child out. I mean, obviously they showed me a bunch of pastel. And then he's showing me green right now, too, which I didn't grab a bottle of green. But what was I saying about that? Oh, Pisces, relates to, which we're in Pisces season, and Pisces, it's euphoria and dissolving into the oneness, and everything is beautiful and euphoric and we're elated. And then the other side of that, Pisces, is isolation, and where we feel like we've been cut off, we're separate from the creator. And so I find, from myself, it's actually the eighth constellation from my moon. So maybe more so but everybody's got stuff in their charts, related to Neptune, related to Pisces, that would bring up issues like that. So it's good during this season to stay grounded, first of all, because we can get real carried away with Pisces energy. And then also to, have this sacred space inside you where you'll have more emotional releases coming with these energies that we're going to experience in March. It's already begun, even before the month started, but we're all going through a period of releasing and regenerating, is what Metatron is saying. Mercury relates to rhythm, and also in that way then relates to cycles. Mercury is coming to the very last degree of the zodiac, the one where the fixed star sheet, which is, I always say in sessions, the saddest star in the solar system. It deals with like tremendous grief and sorrow, bereavement, is what Metatron is saying. And then also sheet is divine inspiration. That's another one of the benefits of Piscean season. And Mercury is spending, he went into shadow on the 19th of February, I believe. And now the month of March, he's coming into the very last degree of the zodiac, the 29th degree of Pisces. And then the day that Uranus moves into Taurus, Mercury is still sitting at the 29th degree of Pisces. We have the new moon in Pisces. And when Uranus moves into Taurus, that means that Venus will be in Aquarius, Uranus's constellation, and Uranus will be in Taurus, Venus's constellation. So then we'll have Saturn in his own sign, Jupiter in his own sign. I know Chiron isn't a planet. I believe he's at home in Aries because he is the I am. And he also represents the wound of the original wound, as Metatron calls it, of separation, where we believe that we somehow separated from God. And that goes back to when we left the light and began incarnating, and that we've all got that for healing. If you haven't gotten to that yet, you will. But as you come into your light, and then Uranus and Taurus in mutual reception. So it's really a fantastic setup for us this month, but it's also the end of a cycle. And remember when I talked about how Metatron had showed me those timelines, and they were coming together. Obviously, everyone, some of them stopped and started more, like some had a lot more to go in the path before the new cycle started, but collectively we're all having a shift right now. I'm sure you can feel that. I mean, this Mercury retrograde doesn't officially start until the 5th of March, but you've been able to feel it for a while. And he is going to come out of retrograde on the 28th, but he doesn't leave his shadow until, I'm saying, like 17th, 18th of April. That's like the date that I keep getting. I think he actually, maybe officially it's the 15th out of shadow, but the 18th is when I'm getting that the energies then, the culmination of the cycle and wrapping up. And obviously, we'll individually be doing that in different ways, but collectively, that's what we're looking at right now, is the wrapping up. It's like all of these full moons that we're having. The one coming up again this month, it's the 5th one that's been at 0 degrees of a sign. And 0 degrees of a sign, it's when there's like unlimited potential for the future. Not what you think of as a full moon, as a wrapping up, and when there's things come to fruition, and we finish a cycle. But it's at 0 degrees. So we've been in so much of that energy. Going back to last year, I feel like the fall equinox, we were talking about endings and beginnings, and we're still in that energy. But this is a big Mercury retrograde. This is a big month. It's a big, big month. Uranus did go into Taurus June 15th of 2018 and stayed there until like October, November, moved back into Aries. But this time when Uranus comes into Taurus, he's going to stay for 7 years. And Uranus is about change, the future, revolution, revelations. It's about freedom, and it doesn't want the status quo. It wants there to be movement and change in order to bring freedom. Okay. And Venus is or Taurus, the sign of Taurus relates to what we love and value, what our own self-worth is, and then what we value, like as far as love relationships, things that we love, money, resources. It also relates to agriculture. Uranus is about technology, so we'll be hopefully there'll be a lot of new inventions as far as I'm hoping cleaning up the oceans, but also agriculture. What are we going to do? The way that we eat meat and the amount of beef that's cattle consumed on the planet, it's not sustainable. Like 90%, I think it is, of the world's cereal crops are grown just to feed the cattle that we eat. And it's just not sustainable. And we're also feeding them soy. They're not able to digest soy. And so every time they belch or they pass gas, that's actually causing the bulk of the greenhouse gas emissions problems that we have now. It's just because of that. So hopefully, I know with the younger generation Z, it's pretty common for them to be vegetarian, be vegan. That's a personal choice. I made that choice a while ago, but whatever you choose to eat, it's important to bless it, because when you're eating something that suffered from the time it took its first breath until it went on your plate, we don't want to be we don't want to be taking in those energies. We want to ask the Creator to bless the food. It changes the frequency and the vibration of the food when you do that. And so hopefully there'll be new avenues for, how we grow food in a more healthy way without chemicals is what I'm hoping. Also, we saw a lot of it play out last year, which I stayed very far away from, even commenting on videos, cryptocurrency. So this will probably play out. Remember, this is we have 7 years of Uranus and Taurus. So this is something that will play out most likely over the next 7 years. And it could be like with fits and starts, but I would be shocked and then Gemini is trade too. So that could actually be something that goes on as Uranus gets into Gemini, but there will be a lot of coming up about cryptocurrency. And I believe just because of Uranus and Saturn, the relationship that they have, and Saturn being about integrity and being the ancient ruler of Aquarius, that I believe that the money is monetary systems are going to have to actually reflect what they're really worth, like not just making up a number and saying money is worth this much, but it might have to actually be backed by gold, but we shall see. This is also a great setup of this Uranus and Venus energies, these mutual reception energies, right as he's crossing into Taurus. So setting us up for the next 7 years. Fantastic for divine union. Really good sign. And I wanted to make the point of the Vesica Pisces symbol. This is what I described. Wait, I can't. Okay. This is pretty much what I described when I talked about when they were showing me how our energies come to be. And it was like a ball of swirling lights that were moving very quickly. And just as it fused into, it was kind of an oval shape, that sac, it looked like an amniotic sac of lights. the moments or the seconds, millisecond that it fused together, it was pulled apart into two perfectly formed spheres. Okay, everything is always created in pairs. It's the yin and the yang, and you have a twin flame as the common way that we refer to it, that you were created with. Okay, and the story of the twin flame separation is a Vesica Pisces symbol. So it's when those two come back together, then that, at least energetically, that circle is, instead of being two halves to the whole, it becomes then that whole. And this is the story of Pisces. Pisces is unconditional love. And so this is a fantastic omen for those of us who are in separation, and those of us who maybe just are having a difficult time in relationships right now, of what's going to transpire, not necessarily in the very near future, but what's going to transpire over these next 7 years as far as divine unions and coming together. I would say with these energies that as far as coming into union with someone now, be very careful, even going back weeks now, meeting someone online. And I would be very careful of anything that seems to you to be shrouded in secrecy, or where someone isn't being completely upfront, because this Mercury in Pisces is a lot of deception, can be a lot of deception. It can also be a lot of truth coming to light, maybe about things that you were lied to, secrets that you were unaware of that for a long period of time that come out, I think, for the public too. And when I was going to make the video last week, I know the energies are really different now, actually, but it was just kind of strange that I had written out, I don't even know where I wrote it, but I think I had talked about sexual secrets coming out, like dirty secrets. And we had, oh, geez, you guys, this is why I write this stuff down, because I'm so bad with pop culture stuff now. I just don't keep track. I don't, things go in one year and out the other. Okay, the New England Patriots owner, he had a huge sex scandal that broke. And then R. Kelly and that Jesse, those celebrities, not to like pick on them, they were just big stories in the news last week. I think that we'll probably see more of that go on. Things that were like scandals that were covered up and that we didn't really have all the details about. Now things will start coming out, and I really hope that comes about as far as like sex trafficking, sex trade stories like that. I'm waiting, because Jupiter in the sky. If you use the app to look at where the planets are in the sky right now, Jupiter's in Scorpio. So sidereal astrology, he's in Scorpio. So I thought maybe when he moved in Western astrology to Sagittarius, we would get a lot more things coming out about pedophile rings that are true, that aren't just blown up rumors about people that we don't agree with politically. But so I'm still waiting to see about that. But that energy, and then also people who hold public office, secrets about that, that kind of thing could be coming out right about now as well. And this new moon is fantastic because it's on the 6th, and I need to look at the time actually. So it is at 4:03 p.m. in the UK, Universal Time. So that is 10:03 a.m. Central Standard Time. And that is on the 6th of March. So it's happening just after Uranus and Taurus. I don't even remember. But they're within just hours of that. The Mercury stations and Uranus moves into Taurus. And then we have this new moon. So... And then, like I said, Mercury is at the end of Pisces, and then he's moving backwards. So I feel like we're really wrapping up a cycle and starting a new one. And we've just got fantastic aspects for this. We've got Vesta, who represents the energies of the High Priestess, the Vestal Virgins, who guarded the sacred fires of the temple, is with Neptune at the very same degree, less than 1 degree from the sun and moon when this new moon takes place in the sky. So it's fantastic. I thought it was pretty telling that, I mean, this is great. You know, Neptune is like the dreaming the impossible dream and having it all come true, and limitless possibilities and the vastness and the support that you have. And Metatron was talking to me about the gateway that's open now and the influx of light and support that's coming in. You know, and always we remember that as the light increases, then the dark does as well. And they're always in balance in that way. That's why I was saying, you know, we can focus on the oneness and pure love and faith and trust and compassion, all of the good stuff with Pisces, or you can let yourself get into the, you know, and I'm not saying I don't ever go there, you know, but it's really important right now to feed yourself good messages. Tell yourself a good story. You may be, and that's part of the reason that I didn't remember to grab the bottle of, I meant to grab the Bluebell, the light blue Amanda Ellis spray that is for loss and grief, because a lot of us are experiencing a sense of loss. You know, I just am one of those people that knows when timelines don't match up and when something isn't going to come about in the way that I thought it was. And so, you know, Metatron's been working with me a lot in mourning, as in grief, energy, because I needed to mourn things that didn't happen, that I was thinking were going to happen, that changed. And a lot of us are going through that right now. So if you honor it, if you feel that, honor that, you know, don't tell yourself like, no. It's good to have a release. And then, you know, feelings are temporary. We can feel it, release it, and just let it go, and then go for the, you know, those higher vibrational energies. And really, you know, asking spirit to just hold you and really show you that you're supported and that you're able to feel that support on the days that you need it, because you may need it moving forward. But this is a fantastic, Metatron was saying that this is a new energies coming in for a fresh buoying of creative juices and energies and things that we need that require inspiration from our higher selves, from the higher vibrations, Metatron, the archangels, and from the creator. This is a great energy for that. Even if it's something that may not take off like wildfire, like straight out the gate, this is the beginning of a new cycle. So you really want to put your energy into, if you have any time, like the 6th through the 9th, when you could do a little ritual ceremony, you know, write out what it is that you would like to see happen. And don't short yourself. Don't just go for the next year. You could go for like the whole big picture of what it is that you want to see, the end game. You could just write out. You don't have to write out stage by stage specifically how it's going to happen, because guess what? It probably won't happen that way anyway. Even if Creator was like, yes, that's how it's going to happen, chances are things will change in there. Make sure that you take the time to at least set an intention, wish upon a star, you know, put it out there, what it is that you would like to create, because the universe doesn't know how to meet you and how to help you get there if it doesn't know what the goal is. And I thought it was really interesting that Metatron, the asteroid Heimdall, that means the guard of the bridge between heaven and earth, and the asteroid Sphinx, that relates to astral travel and things that go on in other dimensions. They're sharing a degree, and I'm going to read. These are Chandra symbols, and a lot of times they're a little dark, but I'm going to read these to you anyway. They're at Pisces 24 and 25, so they're not too far. They still make it within, they're still considered conjunct with the sun and moon at this new moon. Inward explosions. The pressure valve goes off. You sit inside collective and ancestral frequencies of doubt, insecurity, and suppression until this can no longer be. You can't sit in your doubt and insecurity and suppression. We're moving out of that now. The frenzied edge of new worlds. The ancient accumulations of old worlds, coming to that point where the inward power overthrows from constraints, scatters semblances, and finds something magnificent that has been untapped and forbidden for so very long, the final spark ignites, releases, and reveals. What was lost and forgotten is more there than ever, and not discouraged, never put down. And the next is going deep and going far, yet emotionally afraid and bereft. That's another lower Pisces, is the fear. Impelled by great force of being to carry on with destiny, strides forward. You are periodically swamped by onslaughts of everything feared coming true. Being certain and being terrorized. The exquisite gift of pulling yourself through the enactment of personal, collective, and ancestral nightmares. You feel a consecration to what is coming into being on the expanded horizon, and a warrior's courage is always going back and grappling with the lingering shadows, a mission that cannot be refused, and a sense of purpose that defies its own collapse and rises from the ashes repeatedly. I feel like that's just, the story of all of us coming to the end of the cycle. We see what's going on around us, and we see that there needs to be a shift and a change. And Metatron was talking to me about this being a period where we are feeling and the support that we have from the ancestors coming in. That's Pisces too, the other side, and the other side of the veil, what I used to refer to as heaven, and all of our ancestors there cheering us on, encouraging us. This is a delicate time for humanity in general. And a lot of people making big decisions right now, even if they're not conscious of it. So really, filling yourself with that hope and inspiration for the future, seeing the big picture, taking the higher perspective, and reading all of these energies and keeping yourself in a place where you are feeling secure and grounded. And believing in the possibilities is what Metatron is saying. Believing in the possibilities. Believing that, the light is going to dawn in the darkness, and that the corruption is going to be finished. And all of the stuff that we all talk about when we could sit around for hours naming all of those things. But really believing that it's possible, that it's going to change, and seeing what we can do to help with that change. Pisces, the Virgo Pisces axis is about being in service, serving for the greater good, serving from the heart, feeling compassion toward others, understanding that we're all each other, that we're all connected and fused together through the energy of pure unconditional love. So, that's what I've got for the new moon in Pisces. And then we've got a really exciting full moon taking place at the spring equinox, the same, like within hours. And that's the first of two full moons that we have in Libra this year. Big stuff starts coming up about March 18th. So I will be back in the middle of March to catch you up with all of that. And I really hope that all of you are doing well. I've missed you, and I apologize that I haven't been around so much. I have a lot more to say that I'll be able to get to more in the next video. And so if you'd like to make an appointment, my website information is in the description box. And especially for the 1 hour sessions, I'm going to see how it goes, see how booked up I get with those, and then I might just cut it off early. But right now I'm saying till June 1st that I'll be continuing with the 1 hour sessions. And then we'll just go to half hours after that. All right, everybody. I'm wishing you a great month and a very happy new moon. No matter when you watch this video, it's never too late to manifest something. So if you want to do a little ceremony for this new moon, whenever you come upon the video, it's a perfect time. All right, everybody. Take care.